So now that we have it set up to where our collision is being set how we want to go ahead and bind to the corresponding on component begin overlap. So in this case, let's go ahead and do a add. I believe it's a, let's see. Yep, it is blueprint. So add dynamic. And so I would kind of, let's see. Well, no, so I was thinking we should probably cast to the pawn type, but this should be, handled entirely through our collision. So if we have issues elsewhere, we shouldn't really have to check for the what do you call it? We shouldn't have to actually check to see and make sure, okay, is it a pawn that's overlapping? So I was thinking about doing this in a lambda, but I think that's not going to be appropriate. So we're going to use add dynamic, pass in this for the object, and let's make a power up. Let's see, we can do a function called on, let's see, on overlapped with player. Let's just do on overlapped with pawn. And this function is the one we're going to be making overrideable. So virtual void on overlapped with pawn, and this takes in a fair amount of parameters. So let's go to the delegate and just copy and paste. So from there, we can go through and start kind of fixing these up by just removing the corresponding commas and that first one. So we have overlapped component, other actor, other component, other body index, B from sweep, and the corresponding sweep result. And now we're good to go. We just have to mark this as a U function. So we're not going to have really any default implementation, but for the time being, I just want to do a log temp, warning, text. Let's do overlapped with %s. Let's do let's do other actor, get name, and then simply destroy. Okay, let's go ahead, close that down, recompile, and relaunch. So that way, once we confirm that this is good to go, we can go ahead and start fixing up the actual collisions. So we can make, the collision meshes or the meshes collision, roughly how we want. So that way it's somewhat consistent between all of them. And likewise, we can start making the child classes and, implement the logic. So for example, we can make it to where max ammo simply gives us, well, max ammo and also, what do you call it? Destroys itself immediately and maybe play some audio, that kind of stuff. So let's give this a try. Wait for a zombie. I think all those hit the arm. Okay, so let's make sure. Let the zombie walk through, which he is not. Let's do it the player. And it said overlapping with, which was correct. Okay, same thing with that one. All right, so let's go ahead, now that we know it's working, start implementing some of the other stuff. So we're not implementing, but we want to check collisions. So let's show our simple collision. And that's not horrible. That is on the large side, but I'm going to delete it. And I want to add a capsule. Let's add simple capsule collision. And let's scale it down a wee bit. So something about like that. Let's set our snapping to 5. And I'm happy with that there. Okay, I consider the nuke done. Check the max ammo. And I'm just going to load up the rest of them while I'm at it. Okay, so max ammo. That's off. Let's add a capsule is the second cheapest. So we're just going to add a simple capsule, scale it down, save it, call it good. check the corresponding insta-kill, and I'm just going to show collision for the rest of these, speed it up a bit. So that's actually pretty good. For this one, given its shape, honestly, let's just make it a sphere. Yeah, so we're going to just use the sphere, call it good, double points, delete. I guess same thing, make it a sphere. Carpenter, we're going to use a capsule, save it. Probably wouldn't be the worst idea to make it a little bit bigger. Let's double it up and save. Okay, so save all, and they now all have proper collisions. So now that they have proper collisions, and we have our corresponding on overlapped with pawn, that's going to allow us to do kind of whatever we want. So for example, say a max ammo, we would subclass this to make a max ammo overlap, in which case we can simply, what do you call it? Iterate over, say, our existing pawns and apply a gameplay effect that just fills up our ammo or something kind of like that. So that's at least the idea. And then once that's done, it's going to go through and destroy itself. Now, in the case of the overlapping, we don't really want to do this client side. So we are going to wrap this in an authority check. We do want to have the collision set up though. So we can kind of do this in, I guess you could say, two ways. So way one, well, not two ways, but in the case of, say, the server, so if has authority, we want to set the collision to be proper. So, one that can overlap and all that kind of stuff. If we are not authority, we want to set the Powerup mesh. We want to mesh component. We want to set the collision enabled to false. So it has no collision. So that way it only has collision for the server because the server is the only one that should be listening for the on component begin overlap. The clients, this should never run for them, so they should never care. All right, this takes in what is E? Collision enabled, no collision. That's right. So that's kind of the idea. So that way this only runs on the server. The server is the only one that's going to, destroy it, hide it, that kind of stuff. And likewise, the server is the one that is kicking off and maintaining the logic. So say we had some sort of countdown timer, we could have a simple bool or a timestamp, kind of whatever we want that indicates that, hey, this power up has been picked up. Start your timers locally on your machine because it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be close. And that's also partially why we are using these icons to represent, the insta-kill time and the double points time rather than the old way, which are on Notch Turn in the original, which was the actual literal countdown. So that way the player, even if they have like 150 plus latency, they're really not going to notice because these are just going to be flashing and at some point they're just going to go away. The player's not going to know if they were, say a half second off, for example, like they might if they were, watching the countdown, for example. But anyhow, I just wanted to go ahead and get this far so I can see you in the next video. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below, where you can also get early access to this entire series.